I'm with Lionel of RGZ Promoters and Developers.
Yes.
Here in Marbella, at the office in Marbella Center. Just, what's your full name?
My full name is Lionel Lilshop.
Right, okay, I'm glad you said that.
Difficult to explain.
And RGZ are Promoters and Developers.
Yes.
Tell me just a little bit about what RGZ is.
RGZ is a local developer promoter here in Marbella. We focus mainly on developments in and around Marbella.
And your background, is it just purely as a promoter developer? I mean, you've been in the industry for a long time, right?
Been here now 20 years. I started in 2002 in Alicante, moved up here in 2004. And since here, been involved in real estate, property management, and after it's obviously promoter developers, yes.
But you've worked with real estate agencies, developers,
Yes.
everything. And how long have you been with RGZ?
Recently, I joined the company that says I'm now nearly 6 months in the company.
You said you're Dutch, right?
Yeah.
Your background is Dutch.
Yeah.
Now, RGZ wasn't a name that I know that very well. It's quite a large company, isn't it, in terms of its...
It's a company
is
which
involved?
is not very well known here in the Marbella area. Why? Because it's always been hitchhiking, let's say, on somebody else's back, for example. We've been around here now for the last, let's say, 10 years. We've developed several developments in and around Marbella. But now, basically, we think it's time that we just come out a bit more and express more who is RGZ. Like you said, who is RGZ? We're not very familiar at this stage. RGZ, well, it was founded by Juanma Reyes Gonzalez, the owner of the company. Basically a small-time developer who developed several units, let's say in Cádiz, Sararatún. He developed 500 units in Peru.
Peru, the country.
Peru, yes, the Peru country, yes. And basically 6 years ago, we started developing here 26 townhouses here in Puente Romano. He developed apartments in Campanario Hills, Estepona. And recently we've launched, beginning this year, a new project of 5 luxury villas here in Cascada Camojam.
Called?
The collection Camojam.
What sort of prices are we looking at there?
5 individual villas, high-end luxury villas, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. We're looking here, price ranges starting at 5.7 million up to 6.2 million.
Okay. And tell me some of the other developments that, when you told me some of the developments that you guys are behind, I knew them all. Yeah, I was quiet. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So just tell me some of the other developments.
Well, not a lot of people know this, but of course, obviously they know the project. The project Unique in El Rosario, which is 96 units Frontline Beach. This was developed by RGZ, our company. And that's, let's say, apartment and an apartment and a part, let's say, villas, townhouses. And that's what RGZ develops. And we're also in the construction. Another partner of our company, Copasa, is basically doing the construction as well.
Okay. What other developments can you chuck in there?
We have done, for example, in Puente Romano, we have the collection Puente Romano, which is 26 luxury townhouses. It was done in 2018, 2019, which was starting in the price range between 1.5, 1.8.
Well, and going back to Dunique for a second, what are the prices there, more or less?
More or less at the moment, they're around 3-4 million euros at the moment.
Okay, so is Dunique, it reminds me just on the surface of it, not the actual qualities, because from what I hear from agents, the qualities are really, really good. But the actual pitch, if you like, the overall pitch reminds me a little bit to Emare in Estepona, in the sense of
Correct.
very high-end apartments.
Correct. Yeah, there's very little, let's say, developments that you could find at the moment. Frontline Beach, there's a few at the moment. You had Imara, now you have Uno in Puente Romano, and you have Dunique in El Rosario. And obviously you cannot bring basically shit qualities. You have to good high-end quality.
What's the interest been like for Dunique?
I'm a little bit out of that at the moment, because what we have done is we have only developed the whole project. At the moment, the commercializing agent is Prime Invest.
Okay.
And Prime Invest have put the sales office up there, and they're basically doing everything. So
It's going well?
it appears so, because we're doing and the villas and the apartments construction at the moment. So yeah, there are sales, absolutely.
Have you done any projects recently or in the plan outside of the Costa del Sol?
We have, well, funny to ask actually, we've just launched 3 weeks ago a project of 18 units apartments in Ibiza. And basically, it's just a small project. It's 6 ground floors, 6 first floors, 6 penthouses. It's in behind the old town, let's say, of Ibiza. And it's going really good. We've launched it 2 weeks ago. We've been in the weekend, during this weekend, actually still today, Juanma is in Ibiza. tried to close some deals, and we did 8 reservations during the weekend. So it's a good product.
There's
Yeah.
not much land available or new development
No,
available.
and what you see here now as well, Ibiza as well, the town itself is full. So they've started to develop the old parts of the town,
Okay.
the outskirts of the town, basically. That's what they're developing at the moment. Land is scarce. It's getting more complicated as well. The same what we had here in the past as well. It's happening in Ibiza now as well. But yeah, we can still find good land for an okay price. It's just making a proper development.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I've noticed from the developments that you named here in the Costa del Sol, one fairly unique aspect of it is that they're all actually in Marbella. Is that
RGZ developers, they try to focus on Marbella. We noticed that when we started doing this, that there was a lot of interest, parties that offered us land, let's say in the Benahavis area, Estepona area, or Mijas area. But we always decided, and Juanma is a very big part of that, he wants to stay and focus in Marbella. If something would happen, let's say, in the market, because this market cannot continue forever as it's been going, we have been noticing a high increase, let's say, in the high-end luxury market. But if we stay, let's say, in the Marbella area, we know that Marbella has its own bubble. And it's very difficult for the bubble of Marbella to burst. Having said that, if we go outside Marbella, a Mijas or an Estepona, for example, even further down the coast, prices are more, let's say, affected by other factors.
right? Less
Mar-
volatile. Yeah.
For example, yes.
Right. Okay. In comparison to yourself, I'm not going to name any names, but there are other very high level, well publicized luxury villa brand projects
Yes, developers,
coming-
real estate agents,
yeah.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
coming into the market,
Yes.
but they're not even getting into Marbella.
No, they're staying outside Marbella because the land is there. Because one other thing, obviously, to build big developments, you need a lot of land, and a lot of land is not available in Marbella. And if it's available, there is a ticket to it. There's a really high price to it.
Any future plans, any developments in the pipeline that you can reveal?
Absolutely, I can't tell you exactly yet because we're still working on the due diligence with a lot of things at the moment. But we're investigating a project with numerous villas in the Elviria area. Elviria always has been a little bit of a soft spot for me because I do think it has everything. You got the commercial area, you got the market, you got the beach, you got Nikki Beach, you got everything there, and a new development. I think that worked really well. We are looking at the moment at a project in Nueva Andalusia, several villas with nice, amazing sea views, and we're also looking at a nice project for Rio Real.
Okay.
Rio Real also as well, so Marbella East. So 2 in Marbella East, and let's say 1 in Marbella Nueva Andalusia.
Though in the Lucia, it's quite hard to get sea views, isn't it? In some of the plots that are available.
Depends where you look.
Right.
Depends where you look.
Okay.
But the thing is, again, what you just said, it's the price. It's the price.
Right. And Elviria, I mean, that's Marbella. Marbella East generally, a lot of people are expecting that to be the area of real capital growth over the next 10 years because it's compared to West, which is kind of Golden Mile, etc. It's fairly undeveloped, if you like.
Correct. You have a few developers there. Basically, one of the big ones was, of course, Alta Vista with La Finca in Rio Real. There is very little off-plan new developments going on the east side of Marbella. And a lot of people, I think that the charm of the east side of Marbella is that everything's established. It's done. And if you look at El Rosario, if you look at Los Monteros, if you look at Las Chapas, Elviria, I think those are the nice areas. Having said that, yes, a lot of people always want to be around the Marbella Center or Puerto Banús area. That's where people want to be. But therefore, what we've seen on the project in Elviria, I think is definitely having a really, really good chance. And definitely if the factors, the orientation, south-southwest, and definitely the views, the sea. If those 2 factors are there, you're guaranteed for 80% success.
Is it hard to sell projects without sea views?
Complicated. If it was, let's say, 15, 20 years ago, it was easier because there was not a lot. Now there's a lot more offer on the coast. If you look at resales, for example, there's renovation projects and off-plan. So if it's off-plan and if it's in a desired area, but there's not directly the sea view that people are looking for, I see it difficult to succeed,
Okay.
or more difficult.
Right. And just to clarify, because you're a developer promoter in projects such as you've worked with other master agents like Prime Investment, Donique.
Yep.
But in your other projects, you are open to collaboration directly with agents.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. On all the developments that we've done and doing at the moment, we are open to work with any agency, registered agency, obviously, API, or autonomous, fully registered autonomous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because what we had in the past, obviously, you had 20 years ago when we started, when we were doing this, you had the handyman, you had the maintenance man, you had the cleaning lady. Everybody suddenly was real estate agent. Everybody was selling property.
That's still the case.
Yeah. But luckily, it's getting a lot less. So we're trying to fill it. So now, what we will work with other agencies, any agency on the coast. But of course, you have to provide your documentation. Yeah.
Right. And how would they get hold of you? Is that through your website?
From my website, through my phone numbers, they can contact directly at igz.es or on my looking at on our Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook.
So pigeon, smoke signal, whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Well, Lionel, thank you so much for explaining everything. And speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.